This is the geometry non-calculator set C worksheet. So far you should have done set A and set B, and you're working on set C. We're getting through this, and let's just have a look at what this sheet should look like. So if I click forward. Okay, so here's the sheet. This is what you should be looking at. Let's have a go at this. So the first question says, work out the surface area of this cuboid. This is very similar to sheet A. The question in sheet A, surface area of this cuboid, there's 6 faces altogether, but I can only see 3 of them. I'm going to label them A, B, and C, and work out the area of each of these 3 faces and add them up, double my answer, and that'll give me the area, the surface area of the whole thing. It's the shape of a shoebox. It has 6 faces. So shape A, that rectangle, is 14 by, and that distance there is 5. 14 times 5 is 70. B is going to be 14 times 2, and that's going to be 28. C is going to be 5 times 2, and that's going to be 10. Okay, if I add those together, I'm going to get 108, times it by 2 because there's 6 faces altogether, and that's going to be 216 centimeters squared. Okay, pretty straightforward question that is, and you should be able to do it yourself. Question 2, the volume of this prism, that there is 9, that's 8, so to work out the area of the triangle, 9 times 8, 9 times 8 is 72, half of 72 is 36. I'm going to times 36 by 20, right, so 2 lots of 36 is 72, and then add a 0 onto it, gives me 720 centimeters cubed, because it's a volume. Okay, make sure you're comfortable with that. Question 3 is very similar to the ones in sheet A and sheet B. Okay, I need to work out the exterior angle first. The exterior angle is 360 divided by the number of sides, which is 12 in this case. 360 divided by 12 is 30. Okay, so this angle on the outside here is 30. Remember, the exterior plus the interior angle is 180 degrees. So the interior angle, x, is 180, take away 30, which is 150, and that's your answer. Okay, all 3 of these are pretty straightforward, and they will get you quite a lot of marks in an exam. Question 14. Again, you need to study this carefully and make sure you're able to do it. We're going to work out this angle over here first, right? So to work out that angle, I'm going to use the fact that the angles in a straight line add up to 180 degrees, and so I'm going to do 180, take away 145, which is 135. Be careful with your maths there. You're taking away so that you actually do get the right answer. Now, if that's 35, this angle up here is also 35 because the base angles in an isosceles triangle, this triangle is isosceles because of those 2 lines. The base angles in an isosceles triangle are equal, so that's also 35. 35 and 35 is 70. I'm going to do 180 take away 70 because the angles in a triangle add up to 180. 180 take away 2 lots of 75 is 110. Now, although that doesn't look like 110, that is actually what it's meant to be. It's not really drawn to scale at all. If I put the Z in, right, that there is 110. So that there as well is 110. That means X is 110 because alternate angles are equal. Okay, there are quite a few reasons here. You need to make sure you state alternate angles are equal and show all your work in for every single stage to make sure you get full marks in this. This is a pretty straightforward question. Don't miss out on any marks because of laziness. Show all bits of work in. Question 5, pretty straightforward. This should be now. Add up the x's, add up the y's. 8 plus 3 is 11. 6 plus 8 is 14. Half them both. Half of 11 is 5.5. Half of 14 is 7. Make sure you put it in brackets with a comma in between. Okay, pretty straightforward there. Question 6. Okay, there's several ways to do this question. I'm going to suggest first a slightly different way to the explanation. I'll give the explanation first. Right, this here is a tangent. AO is a radius. So the tangents and the radius are 90 degrees, and it's the same on both sides. So this is 90, this is 90. That shape there is a kite, and the angles in a kite, it's a 4-sided shape, so they add up to 360 degrees. The angles in a quadrilateral, you could put kite there if you wanted, add to 360 degrees. So if I do 360, take away 90, 90, and 60, that leaves me with 120. Another really quicker way, in any of these problems, right, these opposite angles, so the angle at the center and the angle out here on the peak, these two angles always add up to 180 degrees. So if this is 60, this here is going to be 180, take away 60, and we got it there as 120. So whatever it is, these two angles, the angles on this outer peak here and the angle at the center, they add up to 180 degrees. Okay, that's a different way of looking at the angle fact, but make sure you're actually familiar with it and you might be able to use it. Working out question 7. In question 7, we want to work out angle Y. We know that angle X is 120. This triangle here is an isosceles triangle. This triangle is an isosceles triangle. The angles in an isosceles triangle add up to 180, but the base angles are the same. So I'm going to do 180, take away 120, and then the answer to that, I'm going to divide it by 2, which gives me 30. So Y is going to be equal to 30 degrees. Okay. Again, make sure you're familiar with that. You can do it, and you are able to work through that. Question 8. Find the perimeter of this shape. Now, the perimeter is the total distance all the way around this shape. Okay. So, because it involves circumference, I'm going to use cherry pie is delicious. What's the diameter of this circle? The diameter is 12. They've given that to me already. So I'm going to work out the circumference of a full circle if there was one, which would be all the way around. That's going to be 12 pi, right? So 12 pi is the circumference all the way around. But I don't want the circumference all the way around. I want half of it plus this straight edge here. And this straight edge is just 12. So I'm going to do half of 12 pi, right? So this is half. This bit here is just a half a circle, and this bit here, the 12, is that straight edge. So half of 12 pi is 6 pi, 6 pi plus 12, that's your answer. I could put centimeters over there, 6 pi plus 12 centimeters. That's my answer, that's pretty straightforward. Question 9. When you look at this, you can see that this is quarter of a full circle. So I need to work out the area of a full circle. Apple pies are 2, alright. The radius of this circle is 8. They've given it to me here. So if it was a full circle, it's going to be pi times 8 squared. Pi times 8 squared is 64 pi. But it's a quarter of a circle, so I need to find a quarter of 64. I need to divide 64 by 4. Best way to do that is to half it and half it again. Half of 64 is 32. Half of 32 is 16. 16 pi centimeters squared is my answer. Please do think about this. Right, think about it hard, make sure you understand it, make sure you can do it. Question 10. Just like question 10 in set A and set B, this is a translation. We're moving it from A to B. Right, we're moving it across there. So pick a corner on A, pick a corner on B, right, and I need to make sure I do my translation vector. How do I get from this corner to this corner? I need to go 3 right, which is 3 on the top, and 1 up, which is 1 at the bottom. Okay, remember if it was going downwards, it's negative. If it's going left, it's negative. Alright, so make sure you're clear about those. Question 11. I need to work out the area at the front of this face, so I'm going to chop it off here. This face at this rectangle is going to be 15 times 6. 15 times 6 is 90. This rectangle here is going to be, well, I know that this distance here is going to be 10 because 16 take away 6 is 10. This distance over here is going to be 5. And how do I know that? Because it's 15 fully, the full height is 15, and this bit here is 10, so that's 10. So 15 take away 10 is 5. Okay, so the area of this rectangle at the front here is 10 times 5, 50. Add the 50 and the 90 to work out the area of the front, 140, and I'm going to times that all by 20. 2 lots of 140 is 280, add an extra 0 onto it, so 2,800 centimeter cubed. That's a pretty straightforward question. A bit tricky here. Make sure you look at that and make sure you are able to do something like that yourself if you need to. Question 12. Reflect a triangle using the mirror line. Y is equal to 3. So go to the y-axis, find 3, draw your line across. So that's y is equal to 3. I'm going to flip the shape, and because it's touching the mirror line there, it will be touching on the other side, and that's what it's going to look like. Okay, that is your answer. Make sure you draw it quite precisely, right, going from corner to corner to corner. Use a pencil and a ruler, please. Question 13. Reflect a triangle using mirror line x equals 7. So here's x equals 7. Go along this. So x equals 7 is where I'm going to draw my line. And it's this grey shape is 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4 squares away on the other side. And I'm going to draw my triangle there. Okay, have a look at it. You could see that it's flipped over and all four corners are the same distance away from the mirror line as the original shape. Okay, looking at question 14. Enlarge the triangle by a scale factor of 3. Center of enlargement 0, 1. So 0, 1 is 0 long. So 0, 1, 0 long, 1 up. So along the corridor up the stairs, so that'll be over there. From there, I'm going to draw a line to a point on my shape. And I'm going to choose that point over there. So I'm going to go 3 across. So there it is. Because the scale factor is 3, I'm going to do that 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And now from there, I'm going to draw the triangle again, but this time 3 times as large. This edge here is going to go up 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to be 3 times as large, so it's going to be 6 up there, and then 3 across, and there you have it. Okay, and that's where the answer needs to be. Okay, so this is the end of set C. Make sure you are able to do it. Rewind this if necessary. When you're drawing the diagrams, make sure you use a pencil and ruler. Make sure you are able to do it well.